We are live. Welcome everyone to Kids Nutrition, Tiny Tummies, Big Impact. I'm super excited about this webinar. I love kids. They're some of my favorite humans. I love you adults that are watching right now because you made these kids or you love kids, but they are my absolute favorite people on the planet. And so I wanted to do a nutrition workshop for all of you parents or mamas, grandparents, aunts, uncles, like whoever you are, that you feel super empowered by fueling our kids with the food that they need. And if you're on here, you can say, hey, because talking to a computer sometimes is not my favorite thing, but I know you're on the other end. And so if you want to post in there, I can see it. You can say, hey, or maybe you're watching from somewhere else that's not Nashville where I'm at. So let me know where you're watching from. And if you know a mom and you are going through here, hi, Gabby. If you are start listening to this and you think about a mom that needs to hear this, or at the end, you're like, oh, I need to share this with other moms, please do that. That is one of the biggest reasons that I do this as well as a webinar instead of in the office, is so that you can share it and it can be available to everyone. Hello, Ez. It looks like Martha Escamilla. So yeah, Pasadena, Texas. I love it. So good. Glad you are joining us. So whether you're a new parent, whether you're a seasoned parent, or someone who wants to make better nutrition choices for little ones, this is the webinar for you. And maybe you've noticed in your own life or others is that feeding kids is no joke. Like, there's so much misinformation. There's labels that you can't trust, and there's picky eaters that reject everything green, and it can absolutely be overwhelming. But what we feed our kids, especially in the earliest years, is one of the most powerful ways that we can shape their future. So from brain development to immune system strength to lifelong habits that sets them up for success, nutrition is going to play a massive role. So tonight, we're going to walk through what to avoid, what to lean into, and how you can make confident, simple changes that your family will feel for years to come. And I really want this to be an empowering webinar for you. And so it's not about shaming anything wherever you're at in your parent journey. This is all to empower you. Now, I'm going to give you a lot of things. And so what I've noticed that with a lot of information, if it's too much information, it can create taking no action. But every person that's listening and watching is at a different journey of their life and a different stage of parenting, a different stage of how old their children are. And you can use all of this and you can go back and watch it as many times as you want to. But taking one or two things that you can take action on, even though there might be so much information that you're getting tonight, you and where you're at in your journey, 1 to 2 things that you'll take tonight. So as you're listening, thinking of that. I also will be answering questions because we're doing this live. And I love when you're watching it live because you can't really ask questions after it's done. So if you have questions, post them in the comments, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. And at the end, I will answer any questions, or if you need clarity on something, let me know, put it in the comments, and we have time to be able to do that tonight as well. All right, let's get started. I'm going to start from the very beginning. So when we talk about breastfeeding, it is one of the most powerful and personal ways to give your body your baby a strong start. So breast milk is literally nature's perfect food. So it's not just a filler. It is, for a baby, it is fuel. It is medicine. It is immune support, and it's a brain booster all in one. And the most amazing part, do you see that picture right there of the breast milk and how there's 2 different colors. Breast milk adapts to your baby. There's receptors on the mom's nipple and receptors in the baby's mouth, and they talk to each other. And your body as a mom knows exactly what your baby needs and what needs to be produced from you. And as they grow, it'll shift and it'll meet their changing needs. Seems to be almost constant and every day something different. But if they're fighting off a cold, your body sends immune factors straight into your milk. That right there, I think, is absolute design. God knew exactly what he was doing when he made our bodies. It's the most beneficial food that a child can receive. And why? It's because it's dynamic. It changes with your baby. And unfortunately, formula can't do that. But here's something that we don't always talk about is what you eat as a mom while you're breastfeeding does matter. So your nutrition becomes their nutrition. And so when we fuel ourselves with clean proteins, healthy fats, leafy greens, fruits and vegetables, you're giving your baby the best foundation for immunity, for growth, and brain development. And the benefits of that, it's incredible for you, even or for them, fewer infections, stronger digestion, healthier weight regulation, and improved emotional development through oxytocin. That's the bonding hormone that's released during feeding. And for you as a mom, breastfeeding also supports your health big time. It lowers your risk for any type of postpartum depression. That's not for certain. So if it's still happening, it's okay. But it lowers the risk, breast and ovarian cancer, and it also helps your body recover more quickly after birth. Now, if you're not able to breastfeed or it's been a struggle, I see you, okay? This is not about shame. This is about awareness and support. And there's always ways to nourish your baby well if you weren't able or aren't able to breastfeed. And I want you to know that you're not alone. There are a lot of moms that struggle with this. And so I want you to know whether you breastfed your baby for 3 days, 3 hours, 3 years, 3 months, know this: every drop counted. Every drop mattered. And every loving choice that you make is part of your child's story when it comes to health. So then now let's talk about foods that fuel. Because when we think about baby's first foods, right? It's one of the most exciting milestones in your baby's journey, getting to introduce some solid foods and something different. So it's around 6 months, okay? Around 6 months when your little ones, they start showing signs of readiness, they start sitting up. That is when, if you want to know the sign of when you can give your baby solids, it's around 6 months, but they need to be sitting up on their own before you really give them any type of solid. So then it can go down and it's not coming back up, and it shows a sign that they're ready. And also another sign is they start showing interest in your meals and what you're doing. Baby-led weaning. So they start to grab for things as you're eating. They just are ooh, what is this? And they begin to explore those different kinds of foods. And so this is when we can start to introduce this new world of solids for them. So where should you begin? Well, I'm going to tell you the most common foods are baby cereals, puffs, these kinds of refined grains, processed purees. That is where most people. Now, the problem is a lot of those are going to contain sugar, additives, and even heavy metals. And we're going to talk about that, not here, but on, I think it's the next slide. Yeah, it's the next slide. So the next slide, we're going to be talking about the heavy metals. So where do we start? You really want to start with thinking nutrient dense, whole foods that give your body, it supports their rapid growth. They're growing so fast. and they're developing so fast. So you can see that list that's right there. Let's talk about the first one, egg yolk. It's rich in choline, and this is essential for brain and eye development. And it's packed with things like vitamin B6 and vitamin E. And what you want to start off with is soft cooked yolks. It's easier to digest and it's less like allergenic and food sensitive than whites. So even right now as an adult, I have a sensitivity to egg whites and not egg yolks. And so that can be a higher sensitivity. So you start with egg yolks. Avocado. Avocado is a powerhouse of healthy fats. It has a ton of fiber too, so it can help their little bellies and digestive system. Tons of B vitamins. It has a creamier texture, so it makes it perfect to smash it, to slice it, to make it super baby friendly. Then blended red meat, and you can see it means cooked, because I knew some of you would be like raw meat for my baby? No, cook it up, blend it as a puree, but it provides, and I should put in there too, like grass fed. So any type of grass fed meat, like thinking like quality of what it is, but it provides tons of iron, zinc, B12, nutrients that are really crucial for babies. And especially as their iron stores from birth, they begin to deplete after that. So it helps their bodies get what it needs. Wild salmon, super good. Omega-3 fatty acids, vital for brain development. Make sure that it's cooked all the way through, and then it can be flaked into really small pieces for them to then be able to grab and put into their mouth. Banana, soft, naturally sweet, and it's really easy to digest, and it's a gentle introduction to fruits, and it can be mashed and sliced like easily. Sweet potato, super good. Beta carotene, fiber. You can roast it, steam it until soft, and then mash it or cut it up into maybe some wedges too that they can hold on to. Liver, like what? So good. Excellent source of iron, vitamin A. You introduce it though in very small amounts. So you can mix it in with cooked meats, but make sure that it's fully cooked, the liver, and pureed for easy eating. And then the last one, yogurt, but you want to make sure that it's full fat, okay? Plain yogurt. Probiotics are in it. Calcium is in it. It's gentle on the tummy, and it can be mixed with different pureed fruits or like for added flavor. Now, remember, introducing solids, it is not just about nutrition. It's also the baby being able to explore, and it's setting the stage for healthy eating habits in the future. So offering a variety of like flavors and textures, and let your baby lead the way, and trust your instincts, and enjoy this like journey together of like starting these new foods, but keep it simple. Keep it as real as possible, as close to what this food is made of. We don't need to just always buy like the processed foods and all of the pouches with all the cartoon animals. Like, we want to be able to feed them real food, right? So if we feed them like processed foods like this and all the pouches, then that's where they think they're learning, they're developing that this is where it comes from. So then when you give them real food, it's harder for them to see the difference. It's not as processed. So think real food for babies at the beginning. So let's talk about this baby food thing, okay, in the processed baby food world. So we're going to dig a little deeper into heavy metals and those toxins. So they did a study, and they took 168 different baby food products. Over 90% had detectable levels of heavy metals. And the shocking part about this whole study is that they weren't like off-brand stuff, like major names like Gerber, Beech Nut, Happy Baby, Earth's Best. They were all on the list. They were mainly found in rice-based foods, fruit juices, and even some of the sweet potatoes had high levels of arsenic and lead. And like these metals, they affect cognitive function, immune development, and metabolism, especially especially harmful, like in developing bodies, like developing babies. It's still harmful to us as adults, but especially in babies. So this is why label checking, that's part of it. And we're going to talk about that, but it's not enough. It's knowing the source. So making your baby food at home and using organic produce and safe brands can go a long way. Now, I have where you can find this. So you're like, because if you read the labels, you are not going to see this. Okay. Like it doesn't say there's arsenic in this baby food. So I'm going to give you resources. This is the link to that right there, the chart that I have. And then this right here goes to the, talks through what's in my baby food. So you guys can have those resources to know which and where they are seeing heavy metals. But since this has come out, there are a lot of brands that I don't like to say like, use this brand, because like I could say use Earth's Best Organic, but we can see that that's not good. So being able to know these things and staying away from them, you guys have the resource to be empowered to do that from there. Okay. Let's start talking about a picky eater next up, okay? Now that we've got their food, we're starting to introduce things. Well, now they're picky. So 25 to 35% of toddlers are labeled as picky eaters. And picky eating, it's real and it's exhausting, right? But here's the good news. It is normal and it's beatable. Okay, research shows that it takes about 11 plus exposures for a child to accept a new food. So if they gagged at broccoli once, that doesn't mean that they're going to hate it for forever. But if you've ever felt like you're in a standoff with your toddler over a plate of vegetables, you're not alone. Okay, you can maybe even put it in the chat and like, I have a picky child, and I bet you there'll be quite a few of you that have this. So picky eating is a super common phase. It can be very frustrating though, but there's a lot of ways that we can do this. So we're going to go through these right here. One of the best things that my sister-in-law did for her kids when they were little for picky eating is she would puree vegetables and then hide them in things like smoothies and sauces and soups. And she even like made brownies and pureed all the zucchini in there. And the reason I'm telling you to do that is because it can also change their taste buds. So not only will they usually eat it, but you're trying to change their taste buds without them even knowing or tasting it. And then when they are exposed to it again, the likelihood of them maybe liking it goes up higher and higher and higher. And the reason I say that is because of the try 11 plus exposures to a new food. So they also did a study in 2003, and it was published in the journal Appetite. And they found that repeated exposure to a vegetable, and in this case, it was a pureed veggie that was offered daily over 14 days in the study, it significantly increased the likelihood of acceptance and intake. So the kids who were offered the food multiple times with no pressure were more likely to eventually eat and enjoy it. If you've ever offered your child broccoli and they just like start to spit it out and they never want to see it again, one try doesn't count. In fact, the study shows it can take 11 to 15 exposures before a child accepts a new food. So this concept, it's like called something. It is called food neophobia. It's a completely normal developmental stage where children are cautious or even resistant to new tastes and textures. So why does this happen? Children's brains They are wired for repetition and familiarity. Some of you know that because if you've been on a schedule and you have your kid on a schedule, they do super awesome. You go on vacation, you do something else, they're out of school, whatever it is. And then all of a sudden it's like, ah! And so we see that like in kids' church. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yep, they were off for a week of school and then they don't have their schedule and their routine. I think they're watching it in the office right now. So I just heard myself do that. But new equals uncertain for kids. And their natural instinct is to protect themselves from things that seem unfamiliar, even food. So what does this mean for you? Don't give up after 1 or 2 tries. And I'll also recommend that you do it in different ways. So maybe it's roasted one night. Maybe it's blended in a smoothie another, served raw with a dip later. So stay calm, okay? Keep it light and make it fun. Don't pressure and pressure and pressure. Your child might wrinkle their nose 10 times and then surprise you on the 11th one. They're like, I like broccoli. Okay? Celebrate what they do eat. Don't expect perfection, expect progress. If they eat a little bit, awesome. Now, try also flavorful and fun recipes, not some bland steamed broccoli, right? Maybe slice it up a little bit, do it something different. Realize that they aren't going to like bland broccoli. You don't like bland broccoli, so they're probably not going to like it either. Establish a consistent meal routine. Now, what I mean by this is offering like 3 balanced meals and 1 snack daily. Allowing your child to experience hunger in between meals is a good thing. So then it can increase their willingness to try new foods. Encourage self-feeding. Let your child take lead during meals. They often enjoy that independence of feeding themselves, and it can make them more open to eating. We talked about this a little bit. Avoid pressuring them. So resist the urge to like coax or bribe your child. Keep it low pressure. Be like, try this. We're going to do something fun. It allows them to listen to the hunger cues and develop a healthy relationship with food. Varieties, we talked about that. Rotate different fruits and vegetables and proteins and grains and keep the meals interesting. Incorporate different herbs and spices to enhance the flavor, make it more appealing. And make mealtime engaging. Use colorful plates, fun utensils, and let them play with the toy during a meal if it makes the experience more enjoyable. A positive mealtime atmosphere can encourage also better eating habits. Involve them in their food choices. So offer choices between 2 healthy options. Would you like strawberries or blueberries today? Would you like broccoli or would you like carrots? It gives them that sense of control and can make it more exciting to eat. Include them in meal prep. Let your child participate in age appropriate, right? We're not having a 2-year-old cut things with a knife. But being involved in preparing their meals can increase their interest in trying foods that they've helped make. But remember, okay? Remember, patience and consistency are key. So celebrate the small victories and know that with time and encouragement, your picky eater can develop more of a palate that they can try different foods that are good for them. And I watched it in my niece and my nephew as my sister-in-law kept things very consistent and continued trying, knowing that the work and the effort was going to be worth it in the long run. Now let's think about their lunches. So now we've got baby, then they're starting to eat solid foods, and then they're growing up, and then now they might be going to school, and then we have the lunchbox. And so when we think about the lunchbox, like packing school lunches, if you're in this like packing school lunches era, it can sometimes feel like a chore, but it doesn't have to be. What if it could actually be fun? What if lunch became something your kids look forward to and you felt good about it? Imagine, right? Looking at it as being something fun and exciting. But here's how you make your lunchbox prep like simple, nourishing, and fun. Sometimes even having that right lunch gear. So invest in a good like bento box. Like I love bento boxes. They're super good. Maybe a fun water bottle for your kid. Like kids love things that look cool, and you'll love how also organized it keeps everything. And there's so many kinds of different food gear, lunch boxes out there. But you want to find things that are made with non-toxic materials. Like this is stainless steel. Finding something that's dishwasher safe, like because ain't nobody got time to hand wash things. Find things that are leak proof or like mostly leak proof, something that's easy to pack, durable, it doesn't break, things that keep foods heat and cold appropriate. There's also these things called lunch skins. And when you think about like packing things daily, like for kids, like for school, or they work just like a Ziploc, but they're reusable. And they're lead-free, BPA-free, PVC-free, they're phthalate-free, they're moisture-resistant, and they keep your food fresh longer, and you can reuse them. And it's not like those ones that go around where you're like, I have to reuse these. Some of you like them, but they're Ziploc bags that are reusable. Those are really, really good too. They love variety and color. So think about rainbows of fruits and vegetables. It makes it visually appealing, but it also makes sure that they get all kinds of different nutrients. So think things like red bell peppers, cherry tomatoes, blueberries, grapes. You can see kiwi, there's olives, all of that are really, really good. Healthy fats and proteins. So thinking balanced, what does this look like? Foods like avocado, nuts and seeds, lean meats like cubed chicken, maybe even leftovers that you had that they love. But having healthy fats in there is a good thing for their energy and their brain function. So thinking about if it's like they're in school age and they have a lunch, and like we want to be able to support their brain function and their energy midday. Like also things like turkey roll-ups, hummus with veggies and veggie sticks, hard-boiled eggs, choosing whole grains. So opting for things like whole grain breads, crackers, pasta, it provides that fiber and keeps your child feeling full longer. Things like quinoa or brown rice, those can be a really great addition to their lunchbox. Add a fun treat. And I mean like a fun, healthy treat, okay? But something small like that can make their lunch super enjoyable, like homemade energy balls, a piece of dark chocolate, the fruit gummies that are made with natural ingredients go a long way. They look forward to what's going to be in their lunchbox. Get creative, like with the presentation, using those bento boxes, like fun shapes, cut something out, get a cookie cutter, engage your child in the lunch packing process, like increase their interest in what's getting packed. Like, oh, look, tomorrow you're going to get to eat this, or like today, look, you're going to get forward to eating this. So involving them into it makes it, they have ownership over it, and they might really like it more when they are part of the process. Cook in bulk. So batching things, having leftovers in there, it saves so much time, especially midweek. Like if you make a lot more for lunches and doing it that way. Use healthy, convenient foods. So not every item has to be homemade. So listen, I'm not here saying like, oh, like have all the time in the world if you don't have all the time in the world, but stock up on things like the clean lunch meats, organic yogurt, pre-cut fruit, and healthy snack packs that have things like Siete has great chips for lunches. And there's a lot of healthy brands out there, which is super awesome. But you need to read the labels, which I'll talk about in just a minute. And that's why I don't want to always use these brands, because I want you to be empowered to know you can look at the label and know what to eat. Buddy up with a friend, share ideas with friends and neighbors, like swap recipes, shop in bulk together, like find someone that's doing the same things and you guys work together as a team, and keep it simple. Like don't overcomplicate it. If all else fails, put fruit, protein, veggie, and water, done. And they don't have to be Pinterest worthy like that. They don't have to be, but they can be powerful. So it's not about calories and just getting food into your kids' bellies, but it's an opportunity. It's a chance to feed their brain, to build their bodies, fuel them as they go through school, and let's make it count and let's have fun with it too. Sugar, it's sneaky. Even in things that we think are healthy, yogurt, granola bars, applesauce, most of them are very loaded with what's called added sugar, especially the kid version. And sugar isn't about just cavities in their teeth. It affects inflammation. It weakens their immune system, and it totally wrecks their focus and behavior. So what do we need to do? There's simple swaps for these things, okay? Because I know you're busy. But here's a few swaps, okay? I want to keep it realistic and mom approved. So instead of yogurt, use plain full-fat yogurt, stir in some berries, and have a drizzle of honey. We have some great honey in our office. We love it. It's local, called lethal something, lethal honey. And it's really, really great. Have a little bit of that on there. Applesauce pouches. So instead of the pouch, try some sliced apples and cinnamon. You can even prep them the night before. Instead of sugar-packed granola bars, maybe try some RX mini bars. There's Lara bars for kids. They have clean ingredients and they're still super grab and go. Juice boxes, skip them. Skip them. Have your kids love water, maybe put a little bit of lemon or something else inside of them. It's just really tough to find a good one that's not full of sugar. How about fruit snacks? So gummy fruit snacks, even the Welch's, I don't have them in here, but Welch's, not good, even if they say the most amazing things on the cover. But try something like freeze-dried strawberries, or there's fruit leather. They don't have any added sugar and they're still sweet and they're still really fun. And then finally, peanut butter. It can have so much added sugar in it if you've ever looked at the ingredients of it. But look for things that just say peanuts, and that's it. That's all that's inside of there. We don't need any added sugars into it. But remember, you don't have to overhaul everything overnight. Just start with maybe one of those swaps. Now, how do we read the labels? Quick tips. 5 ingredients or fewer is a good idea. If it has more than 5 ingredients in it, they're all full of chemicals most likely and toxins, and we don't want that. Watch for added sugars. So what you're looking for is when you are on the label, that right here, if you can see, it says total sugars, but it also says included and it'll say added sugars. And you want that number to be 0. No added sugars, no excess sugar inside of their body. We want the natural sugars that come mainly from the fruit. Choose what's recognizable and pronounceable. If you cannot pronounce it, then you should not have it. When I look at this formula that's from Enfamil, this Gentle Ease formula, I can't even read half of it. So we're going into like calcium, phosphate, ferrous sulfate, zinc sulfate, magnesium. And I'm like, all of this stuff. And I'm like, oh, I don't even know what that means. And there's just way too many extra ingredients and toxins inside of here. So if you can't recognize it, if you can't pronounce it, don't do it. And I'm going to promise you guys, when your kids see you reading labels and choosing real food, you're modeling something powerful. It's helping them more than you realize. So don't forget that. They're watching you and they're seeing you, and reading labels is one of the best things that you can do for your kids. Now, we always get the question, like, when food isn't enough, you use these tools. I do not go straight to supplements, okay? Never have, never will. We start with our food first and changing that, but I also know that our food isn't always enough. So we use these tools. When it comes to kids, these are the ones that I recommend. Because even with the best diet, kids sometimes need a little bit of help, and their growing bodies require these nutrients, and we want to make sure that they get them all. So vitamin D3, bone health, brain health, immune support. Omegas do the same exact thing. A multivitamin, it's to fill any type of like nutritional gaps because it's full of good, all kinds of vitamins. Probiotics, I prefer a powder for probiotics or a liquid, but it helps build their gut health, boost their digestion. I also like detox support. It's called NDF Calm. It's from BioRay, and it's a gentle daily detox supplement for kids. It's gentle. It helps to also restore any type of like emotional balance by supporting their liver, because the liver is one of the most important organs for filtering any type of stress-related toxins. And so opening up their detox pathways at a young age, and then it also helps to nourish their adrenal system. It helps children feel more grounded, less reactive, and better able to handle everyday challenges. So that's why I love detox support if there's anything that needs to be helped with a kid or a child from that. And then immune support. I know mamas, you're like, the worst thing is like when your kids are sick and you feel like you can't really do anything for them and you just want them to feel good. And that is what immune support by BioRay does. It's full of modulating herbs. There's some fruit concentrate, adaptogens that help support their lungs, their throat, their nasal passages. And it also addresses any like tiredness or body discomfort, supports their immune system, especially easing the discomfort if there's any discomfort in their chest. It calms an itchy throat, reduces coughing, phlegm, nasal congestion. It also helps to clear any like excess heat in the body, like a fever, and helps to regulate their emotions as well during that time. But supplements are not a replacement for real food, but they're an amazing tool to support their growing bodies. Okay. Let's talk about teens and their food choices. Teens are notorious for living off of fast food and energy drinks and easy vending machine snacks. They've seen right now that 1 in 3 teens eat fast food every single day. But here's the thing, just because the biggest thing with teens is like, just because they look healthy on the outside does not mean that their body is thriving on the inside. A fast metabolism doesn't protect them from inflammation, from hormone disruption, or any type of nutrient deficiencies. Now, their brains are still growing as teens. Their hormones are shifting, and their choices now set the tone for their adult health. So how do we help our teens? We involve them in planning and cooking. We shop smart. We teach them how to read labels and avoid the fake health foods that are packed with tons and tons of sugar. And cooking in bulk goes a long way for teens. So like having real food ready that it's quick to grab for them is important. Now, I think most importantly for this age as teens is model the behavior. So teens will do what you do more than what you say. Feed your body well and they will notice. Okay. This is about legacy, leaving legacy level habits. And even when they roll their eyes at you, they are watching. They are seeing what you are doing more than anything else. So all the things that I just talked about, real food, keeping it all of that is good. Finding what your teen loves in that healthy category will go a really long way in having it ready, prepped, and available for them to take quickly and grab it. Now, teens also do need supplements. They it's a time of a whole lot of change, right? Physically, emotionally, all the things that are happening. So we want to encourage their bodies to work like they should. So my favorite is BioRay has a whole line for teens. I'm going to give you just a few things of what like each one of these means. The very first one, it's all systems glow. So sometimes it is like whether you're navigating a picky eater that's a picky eater still in their teenage years, or you just want to give them more nourishment as they grow. All systems glow is the best one to be able to do that. It has inside of it herbs, micronized chlorella, which helps their body detox. And it also has fermented fruits and vegetables. And it's designed to help their bodies easily digest it and absorb it better. So even when all the unhealthy food wins, this is the best thing because it's thoughtfully crafted for our teens to help bridge that gap between what they are getting in their bodies and what they don't get in their bodies. And so this is a really good, like overall, all systems supported for a teen. Then there's Thinking Cap. That's the second one. It's like a study buddy for focusing their mind. So some days staying focused for teens feels super, super impossible. So that's where Thinking Cap can come in. And it has inside of it a lot of Chinese herbs that help with clarity, improve their focus, and also helps them follow through on tasks that matter. And our brains are working harder than any person who lived 100 years ago. And so our brain has, though, still stayed the same shape, the size, but we have so much information coming in. They're on social media, and it's hard for their brains to like navigate and do all of that. So this helps to bridge that gap for them. Then there's Life is Peachy. This is a peacemaker for when you're cranky. There's like, if you're not sure why your teen's always craving sugar, or maybe there's even angry outbursts, or they just don't seem quite themselves, sometimes the issue isn't their mood, and it could be some microorganisms that are unbalanced inside of their body. So like thinking about their diet, like if they are eating fast food, eating out 2 times or more a week, if they have pets, if they bite their nails, if they have a general just aversion to washing their hands before they eat, Life is Peachy is one of those that will help get rid of any unwanted organisms in their body, balance everything out, help to rebalance their emotions and their whole physical well-being. Angry outbursts reduces them, decreases any like sugar or carbohydrate cravings. Life is Peachy is really good for that. And then last one is the Dream Machine. So sleeping, a good night's sleep isn't like just rest. It's essential, especially for teens, for their brain health, emotional regulation, and memory. So if your teen struggles winding down from a busy day, or just has a hard time turning off any type of noisy thoughts in their brain, having good quality sleep, that is what the Dream Machine, there's no melatonin in it. It helps to decrease their time that it takes for them to fall asleep, and it helps with them staying asleep through the entire night, relaxes their mind. And they've shown like having a good, healthy sleep, good quality sleep, improves math skills, mental flexibility, and memory across all ages. Okay. Yes, this is recorded. So I see a question. Is this live stream recorded? Yes, you absolutely can do that. So real food, real life. I want to show you how you can also make this simple. And it doesn't have to be expensive or hard. Just a little bit of planning is going to go a long way, no matter where you're at in your nutrition and parenting journey, because I want to talk about strategy. Okay. This can be done, especially if you're busy. It just needs a few like quick budget-friendly tips without all the stress. Okay. First one, shop with a list. Always have a list. I know this sounds simple, but it is a game changer. It keeps you focused. It helps you stick to your budget, and it cuts out all of those, maybe I'll try this, impulse buys that we can have. Number 2, repeat simple meals. You don't need to reinvent the wheel every single week. Pick 2 to 3 breakfast, lunch, and dinner options and just rotate them. That is what Dr. Michael and I do as adults. And so find those things that your kids love and just rotate through them. Kids love routine and it saves your brain power. Third, use leftovers intentionally. Okay. This is my favorite hack for us, but also for moms too. Cook once, eat twice. Tacos one night, taco bowls or taco salads the next, grilled chicken, turn it into a wrap, turn it into stir fry the next day. Okay. Fourth one thing, frozen is totally fine. Okay. Keep frozen broccoli, frozen berries, frozen peas, cauliflower rice, just keep it stocked. They're just as nutritious. They are way more affordable and they save you on prep time. Make one base meals. What does that mean? Think of sweet potatoes, quinoa, brown rice as your base, and then just rotate toppings, whether that's beans, avocado, meat, veggies. It's easy, it's customizable, and you avoid any type of mealtime burnout. That's what we do, Dr. Michael and I. Your base might also even be salad. So there's a base and you just add things on top of it, change up the flavor of it, and you can have like Asian one night, you can have Mediterranean another night, you can have Mexican the other night, and you can change those, but keep your bases super simple. What's next? Smoothie packs. If your morning is chaos, and I mean, whose isn't in the morning, but pre-bag smoothie ingredients in the freezer, then dump, blend, and go. Like no mess, no thinking required. And kids do like smoothies. Okay. Shop sales and stock up. When clean pantry items or meats, if they're on sale, buy a few extra and freeze them up. And you'll thank yourself later. And lastly, I don't think it's on there. Make a snack bin. Like fill it with all the good stuff. In your refrigerator, like you can have a snack bin in your refrigerator, like cut up fruit, hummus cups, string cheese, maybe having some good healthy trail mix. Keep it at eye level in the fridge, in the pantry, so that your kids can grab and go without yelling like, Mom, what can I eat every 5 minutes? So having a place for them to be able to have that. Okay. The key here is simplicity. You don't have to be perfect, just a plan. And these little shifts can make clean eating doable, affordable, and very, very sustainable. Okay. Last thing, don't overthink this. Okay. Quick wins to start the week. Okay. I want to remind you, you don't have to do everything all at once. Start where you are. No guilt, no pressure. Progress over perfection, okay? If your pantry is full of like pouches and snacks and goldfish crackers and all the things that are not good for our kids, just breathe, okay? You're not behind, but now you are aware. And that's the first win. So this week, okay? Finish this week off. We're on Wednesday. I want to challenge you to pick one swap. That's it. One thing that you learned from this. Small changes are going to lead to big, big, big results as long as you stay consistent. And maybe it's replacing their juice boxes with lemon water. Give it a go. Maybe it's switching to plain yogurt and adding in fruit. Maybe it's just packing one real food in their lunchbox this week. Small, doable steps. That's what creates momentum. And if you have questions, don't be shy, okay? If you are watching live, drop them in the chat now. If there's anything that's come up question-wise, drop them in the chat. If you are watching this on the replay, send me an email, message me. I love helping families make this very practical and very personal. So message me, put it in the chat, email me. We're not aiming for Pinterest perfect here, okay? Doesn't exist. We're aiming for real progress. One swap, one meal, one win at a time, okay? You can do this. I know it might feel a lot, but take a deep breath. The fact that you even showed up for this live or you're watching it afterwards, you're already winning. But you can do this. Be present. I think it's being present with your kids is more than anything. It's about being aware. It's about making these small intentional choices. And whether you're just starting out with a newborn or you're juggling a toddler running around or teens who just live off of snacks, your influence matters. Okay? And your child, they were made for more too. And it does start a lot of times at the table. Okay? Helpful information for grandparents to a 1-year-old. That is right. I don't see any questions. I just want to double check on that. We are good. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. But if you did find this helpful, share it. Share this with a friend that needs to hear it. Join us on our next workshop. It's on June 4th. It's on a Wednesday. And we're talking about immune system. So if you have allergies or anything that has to do with your immune system, don't miss that. It's called Bulletproof Immunity. But we're going to go into a deeper dive into our immune system. And if you need any support, reach out to me. I'm happy to help you and walk this journey with you. Remember, you were made for this. To be a parent, to be a grandparent, you can do this. You're not alone. And we can raise a generation that thrives and we can do it together. I love you all.